Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football mock draft video. Today we're doing a SuperFlex league, which is PPR on Sleeper from the second pick. It is 10 team, like I said, from the second pick, and the roster is a quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, tight end, flex, SuperFlex, kicker, and six bench spots. So let's get right into this. But before we actually get right into this, I want to ask if you guys could please go down below and please click that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me, and it's going to help you win your fantasy football championship. You're going to win the draft. And then once you draft your great team, you're going to win during the regular season because you're making correct lineup decisions and correct waiver wire decisions. And then you're gonna make the playoffs and you're gonna win the championship. And that's all. All you have to do is subscribe. It's pretty easy. It's free. So just go down there and click that button. So let's get right into this draft. So this draft was requested by a subscriber. His name is Kevin. He comments a lot on my videos. So this is for him. If you want me to do one of your drafts, leave a comment down below. Everyone else who has already asked for a draft, yours will be coming soon. So the first pick of the draft was Quan Barkley. Now, a big thing to know about Superflex and or two quarterback leagues, pretty much same strategy in either of these because you're going to be wanting to start two quarterbacks at all times. So, with that being said, Patrick Mahomes is a guy who goes at the fifth pick according to the ADP. He'll go around from like either the fifth pick, probably he won't really escape the first or the second round if you're playing in a super flex league. The quarterbacks go very, very fast. So with that said, we are not going to go quarterback though because I don't believe in going Mahomes at the second pick. That's far too early for me to pull the trigger. So typically it would have been at the two. It would have been a Zeke pick because Zeke, if before his holdout seemed like he would be easily a number one or number two fantasy guy for the running back. But now that he's going to hold out, I don't know if he's going to play week one, week two, week three. Very confusing to figure out. So I figure why even worry about it and just draft, in my opinion, the third best running back in fantasy, Christian McCaffrey. They said they were going to limit him slightly. They're going to limit the amount he's on the field, but give him more touches, which makes zero sense to me. I don't understand how that's even possible, but that's fine because Christian McCaffrey, regardless, is going to be great. After we picked Chris McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara came off the board, followed by Zeke, Pat Mahomes, Michael Thomas, David Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Andrew Luck, Melvin Gordon, Devontae Adams, James Conner, Julio, Le'Veon Bell, Travis Kelce, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Odell Beckham Jr. So, like I said, the quarterbacks, they're going to go very fast in this. 1-2 quarterbacks already taken. Travis Kelce falls to the 2.5. Now, in my opinion, the tight end in a super flex league is a lot less useful, so I'm not really all in. I would not, even though I say typically in a 10 or 8 team league, you need to really target the tight end position. A guy like getting Travis Kelce in the second round or even at the end of the first round is going to be very beneficial to winning your championship, in my opinion. But in this type of format, you need two quarterbacks. The tight end position you can just wait a while on because the tight ends won't go as fast either. So a guy in like the sixth round or seventh round is going to be a lot better than normal. So now right here, we are stuck with a decision. Would we rather go Aaron Rodgers here or go with a good wideout or a good running back? But I think personally what I would do here is just go Rodgers and then just wait to see what running back or wide receiver comes back to us because I like Rodgers a lot more than I like Deshaun Watson or any of the guys below there. So for that reason I would go Aaron Rodgers. Now Aaron Rodgers, the one thing you have to note is that week one he's playing the Bears. So you have to temper his expectations for week one of being someone who's going to be great. But he's still going to do probably pretty good even against the great Bears defense. So after we selected Aaron Rodgers, Todd Gurley came off the board, followed by Deshaun Watson. So likely Rodgers would have been picked there and would not have made it back to us. So it proved to be the right decision to go Rodgers there. Now, Todd Gurley is someone who's picked right after we picked Rodgers. Now, I don't like Todd Gurley due to his injury. The risk of injury when you have an arthritis of the knee. I don't know. I'm not much of a doctor, but all I know is that's not good, and I don't want my player having knee arthritis and possibly being sidelined during a game or being taken or completely not playing a game due to that injury. So right here, we're looking at either going with a top wide receiver here in Juju, a guy that in my opinion could finish top 5 in fantasy, or just loading up and getting another running back. Now, I think I think that I want to go wide receiver here because the value of Juju in the third round is a lot better than a guy like Nick Chubb here because I do think that Kerryon Johnson will end up falling to us by the time we pick again. And I'm not too worried about that. Where I can get a receiver that's going to finish likely could finish top 5 in points in my opinion when the year comes to a close. And I really like Juju a lot. And obviously the receivers are going to be better later when compared to the running backs, in my opinion. But I still would rather get. Now I have a. If I do this, I'll have an elite quarterback, an elite running back, and an elite receiver, and I really like the way that that starts off my team. So for that reason, we're going to go Juju here. After we selected Juju Smith-Schuster, Leonard Fournette came off the board, followed by AB, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, Damian Williams, George Kittle, Nick Chubb, Matt Ryan, Zach Ertz, Marlon Mack, Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, T.Y. Hilton, Carson Wentz. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks already have been selected off the board before the fourth round has even come to a close, and all the big three tight ends have went. So I guess what I was saying is that I guess that was wrong. The tight ends, all three of the big three tight ends, still went off in pretty normal areas. Now, though I do believe that if this wasn't a super flex, a guy like Kittle and Ertz would go earlier in the third round, and Kelsey may go closer to the 2-1 or even at the 110. But with that being said, we do want to get our running back here because I would be kind of mad if I didn't end up getting two running backs that I believe are both going to be top 12 guys. I believe Kerryon Johnson will finish top 12, and if he doesn't finish top 12, he'll be like 13 or 14. And a guy like Christian McCaffrey is a locked and loaded top 5 running back pretty much every single game he plays. So we're going to go with Kerryon Johnson here. He has slight injury risk, but a guy like Devontae Freeman has a lot more, and I believe Kerryon Johnson's upside is a lot more. Matt Patricia came out and said that they're going to run with the hot hand on the team. You all know who the hot hand is going to be. It's going to be Mr. Kerryon Johnson, not C.J. Anderson. They got rid of Theo Riddick. They shipped his ass off, so get the fuck out of here, go to the Broncos. And now Kerryon Johnson is the lone man in the backfield. I don't think C.J. Anderson is even going to play that many snaps. Now, Kerryon Johnson, we don't want him really, in reality, getting like 25 touches a game or some crazy shit like that. We'd rather him stay around like 12 to 15 and then just let the other running backs touch the ball because he is injury prone. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go Kerryon here. After we selected Kerryon Johnson, Keenan Allen came off the board, followed by Devontae Freeman. Now, at this slot right here, we are likely just going to go wide receiver. And the tight end, because I would not feel comfortable going another quarterback here before everyone else even picked their starting quarterback because I like a lot of these guys later. But we could go with, I think Kyler may end up falling to us here, so I would be willing to pull the trigger at 6'9" for Kyler Murray here for super high upside, but if he doesn't end up falling to us, then that's fine with me. I'm not willing to pick him here. So the wideouts still available. Guys like AJ Green, who we're staying away with. We would not draft AJ Green here. Stephon Diggs, Julian Edelman, Tyreek Hill still available. Brandon Cooks. Now, that has to be some type of a glitch because Tyreek Hill normally goes up here, and I guess the two quarterback rankings haven't adjusted for that. So we're just not going to go Tyreek Hill there because it would seem to be too much unrealistic for the real team that we would end up getting. So we're just going to go with a guy I like a lot in fantasy this season, and a guy that I think is going to be pretty good. Now, it's obviously Tyreek Hill would be the pick here, but like I said, I don't want to be fake and make it seem like I got a better team because the ADP hasn't adjusted for this. So we're just going to go with Stephon Diggs now. Stephon Diggs and Julian Edelman. I used to like Julian Edelman more, but Edelman is currently injured. But even though he's expected to play week 1, having that broken thumb does kind of worry me, and it reminds me of how injury prone Mr. Julian Edelman has been in the past. So for that reason, I'd rather go with the guy who seems a lot more safe in Stephon Diggs as my wide receiver too. So after we went Stephon Diggs, Josh Jacobs came off the board, followed by Russell Wilson, AJ Green, Tyreek Hill, Julian Edelman, Cam Newton, Robert Woods, Philip Lindsay, Kenyon Drake, Kenny Galladay, Tariq Cohen, Brady Cooks, Mark Ingram, Sony Michel, OJ Howard, Chris Godwin, and now it's our pick. So I did really want to go Kyler Murray here, but I'm willing to just wait one more round and then do it, and I can go for a running back that I like to target a lot now. Right here, it's between Chris Carson or David Montgomery. Now, David Montgomery I like a lot because of the opportunity of him being a rookie, and we know that after probably just a few games, he'll be end up being slotted as the running back one on that team, on a team that likes to run the ball. They did it with Jordan Howard a lot last year, and I think David Montgomery is a better version of David Montgomery is a better version of Jordan Howard. David Montgomery can catch the ball. Jordan Howard could not really do that. David Montgomery can run in between the tackles. He can obviously run the ball pretty good. That's why they drafted him. But at the same time, Chris Carson seems to be a lot safer, in my opinion. While he does have that injury risk, he comes with an injury risk. But at the same time, if he can stay as the running back one on Seattle, he is going to be getting a shit ton of rush yards. They're going to be handing the ball to him 15 times a game, 10 to 15 times a game. Obviously, he's not really going to get too many targets, in my opinion. He'll probably get like one reception a game or 2 targets a game, but that's fine with me because I still like Chris Carson here at the 6'9". After we went Chris Carson, Cooper Kupp came up the board, followed by David Montgomery. And I believe that if I don't go quarterback here, that it will not even end up coming back to me. So right here, we're looking at a guy like Goff, Breeze, or Murray. Now, like I said, I want to go with the higher upside here. Breeze obviously seems to be a lot safer, but we already have our safe quarterback. We have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to be very safe. If he doesn't get hurt, he's going to end up scoring you like 20, 25 points every single game and just be a guy that you can just lock and load in the quarterback one position. But our super flex, I want to go with someone who's slightly more risky, but has a lot of upside. Now, Kyler Murray could end up finishing as a top 10 quarterback. I believe he'll finish as a top 10 quarterback. He has the legs. He's going to be able to run the ball. He's going to be able to scramble around. He's on an offense that I believe is going to be pretty good this season. Him, DJ, Larry Fitz, Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk, a bunch of good names, and I like Kyler Murray to play pretty good this year due to his scrambling and rushing ability each game. He gets a free 3 points most likely for running 30 or 40 yards every single game. And he also has a great arm, so I like Kyler Murray at the spot. So after we went Kyler Murray, DJ Moore came off the board, followed by Latavius Murray, James White, Mike Williams, Goff, Lockett, Calvin Ridley, Robbie Anderson, Darius Geis, Eric Ebron, Tevin Coleman, Hunter Henry, Alshon Jeffrey, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Boyd, Evan Ingram, and now it's our pick. So likely here we are just going to end up going with we can still wait one more round for the tight end and get Vance next round, I believe. So we can just go with another either running back or wide out. Now I still believe in this type of format you need to still build great running back depth, not death, because that's how you typically win a league, by having great late round running back choices. Now, the running backs are obviously a lot deeper in a 10-team league, and even more deeper in a league where quarterbacks are going a lot faster. So a guy like Lamar Miller, who typically goes in like the 6th or 7th round, falls all the way to the 8th here. Now, Lamar Miller is obviously not the king of being a fun pick. He's never going to score you 30 points. He's never going to score you 25 points, but he's going to lock and load you in for like 15 points every single week. I believe he's going to be the starter, not Dante Foreman, and I think that Lamar Miller is going to have a great season as long as he stays healthy, and be not a great season, but a safe season, and a guy that you will not mind having as your flex or as your RB2 if need be. So we're going to go with Lamar Miller. After we went Lamar Miller, Sammy Watkins went, followed by A.J. Brown. So I'm going to comfortably go with... See, I like Vance McDonald a lot, but I still think Cook has value here. Now, Cook... I don't really like him as much as McDonald, but I think that Cook could have the upside since he's on. Breeze used to love targeting the tight end with Jimmy Graham, and I think that it's not a good idea to just always draft the same tight end and give the same analysis on the same Vance McDonald. And I think that it's good to diversify your lineup. So if you're always drafting, you say you play in 4 leagues, if you draft Vance McDonald in every league and Vance McDonald busts, you're going to seem like an idiot. So you need to kind of diversify your revenue, as Mr. Nick Big Dog's Gotta Eat likes to say. So you're going to try to pick multiple different tight ends. Obviously, I do like Vance McDonald a lot, so I wouldn't mind having him in all 4 leagues. I'm in more than 4 leagues, but I like Jared Cook here too, because I think Jared Cook is going to get a lot of targets if Breeze gets scared. If Breeze in the end zone, he's a big target. He's got to score touchdowns, and it's kind of hard to cover Michael Thomas. And if they're double covering Michael Thomas, then Mr. Jared Cook will be wide open. So I want to go with Jared Cook here. After we selected Jared Cook, Allen Robinson came off the board, followed by Rashad Penny, David Njoku, Latavius Murray, N'Keal Harry, Christian Kirk, Darrell Henderson, Jordan Howard, Will Fuller, Miles Sanders, Dante Pettis, Chicago defense, LaShawn McCoy, Cortland Sutton, Sterling Shepard, Royce Freeman, and now it is our pick. So we are probably just going to go with yet another running back because, like I said, building the running backs that are in the middle rounds, the running backs go fast. All these guys are going to be gone very soon. Now, all the good wide receivers, there's still a lot of good wide receivers available later because wide receivers a lot deeper than running back, and it always is. It's easy to find a guy in a 10-team league on the waiver wire that's a wide receiver, and it's almost impossible to find a running back that you're willing to start on the waiver wire unless an injury happens. So for that reason, I really like to build up a core of a shit ton of running backs and then just go wide out. So we currently only have 2 wide receivers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. So we'll likely just go one more running back here and then go with a bunch of wide receivers. Now, I like Ronald Jones a lot because of the upside that he could end up being the running back one on Tampa Bay. And even though you might think, oh, Tampa Bay is not that great of a team, Tampa Bay is going to be a team that is going to run the ball. They're going to be able to get into the red zone, and they're going to be on offense a lot because their defense fucking sucks. Their defense is just going to let the other team score pretty much, and then they're going to be on the field. And if they try to establish the run, I think Ronald Jones is going to end up starting over Peyton Barber because he's probably should be a better player coming into his second year in the NFL. So we're going to go Ronald Jones here. After we went Ronald Jones, Drew Brees came off the board, followed by DK Metcalf. So we're just going to load up on a couple of wide receivers I like here. A guy like Corey Davis, D.D. Westbrook, Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, all still available. And I personally would rather just go with a guy who I think is safer, and that's Marvin Jones. Now, I think Marvin Jones, there's a lot less uncertainty with him. D.D. Westbrook, will he be the wide receiver one on the Jags? Will it be those other guys? The Jags have a bunch of wide receivers whose names are escaping me. They have Marquise Lee. They have other guys. Marvin Jones is probably locked and loaded for the second guy on that team, and you know the receptions that he's going to be getting. You know that Stafford likes to target him, and we know that the Lions offense will be pretty average. Whereas I don't know if Nick Foles will be able to make the Jags offense more than just average. So we're gonna go with Marvin Jones here. After we went Marvin Jones, Big Ben Roethlisberger came off the board, followed by Jameis Winston, Phillip Rivers, Dak Prescott, Mitch Trubisky, Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. So a quarterback run happened. Now when you're at home league, when you're drafting Superflex or two quarterback runs are going to happen often towards the end. If people see that quarterbacks start going, they're going to panic and just pick their second quarterback. They're going to panic and pick their third quarterback because they see that the depth is going to be gone. So after Lamar Jackson went, Corey Davis came off the board, followed by Vance McDonald, Dallas Goedert, D.D. Westbrook, Jalen Samuels, Golden Tate, Larry Fitz, Andy Isabella. So now it is our pick. And likely here, we will just go wide receiver one more time and then go running backs soon after. So we're going to get a wide receiver that I like a lot that's on an offense that I believe, and we're also stacking him with our quarterback. Now, our quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, and the wide receiver we're going to be targeting is MVS. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is likely going to be the wide receiver 2 on Green Bay. Him or Geronimo Allison definitely have value, but I like getting MVS over him personally. Because Aaron Rodgers MVS is going to be the outside receiver, outside the numbers. Aaron Rodgers is great at throwing outside passes towards those kind of guys, those kind of receivers. Geronimo is going to be stuck in the slot, which is obviously going to hinder his production. Now, he may catch more balls, but at the end of the day, MVS will end up with more yards and probably just 2 less receptions each game. And I think that MVS is going to score a bunch of touchdowns this year. And I love all parts of Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay offense. So we're going to stack MVS with Aaron Rodgers. After we went MVS, Dante Foreman came off the board, followed by Geronimo Allison. And now it is our pick yet again. Now, in these kind of leagues, I don't like drafting a backup tight end. We got Cook. We'll just drop someone when Cook goes on by. I'm pretty confident with Cook. So we are just going to end up going one more running back here, and then we're going to go with our third quarterback. Now, I noticed in this kind of on Sleeper, they don't typically pick a backup quarterback, so you'd likely have to pull the trigger here on your backup quarterback. So that's what I'm going to do. For your third quarterback, you'd probably have to pull the trigger around here or here. In the 10th, or in like the 10th round and below is where your third quarterback is going to need to be selected if you want to go with 3. And typically I would go with 3 because I think that you want to have two quarterbacks in at all times. So you want to make sure your third quarterback has a different bye than all your other quarterbacks, so that you can have, so that you know every single time that someone's on bye week, there's going to be two quarterbacks available to you. So Aaron Rodgers has an 11, Murray has a 12. Now Kirk Cousins has 12, so Kirk Cousins would instantly be eliminated for me unless the value was that Kirk Cousins was so much better than these other guys. But I believe that Josh Allen is pretty much just like Kyler Murray. Now, not every game you're going to want to start him, so you're going to have to figure out which games you want Kyler Murray in and which games you want Josh Allen in. But I believe Josh Allen has top 12 quarterback upside as well. He'll have weeks where he finishes as a top 5 quarterback. And if you're able to predict that correctly, then you're going to end up with a powerhouse quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, a guy who's pretty much elite and locked in for 20 to 25 fantasy points a game. And then you're going to flip that around and go with a guy as your super flex like Kyler Murray, who is super high upside, or a guy like Josh Allen. So I'm going to go Josh Allen here. After we selected Josh, if it wasn't Josh Allen, I probably would have just went for Matt Stafford for the extreme safety and had two safe guys and one guy like Kyler Murray who has high upside. So after we went Josh Allen, the LA Rams came off the board, followed by the Chargers, Kiki Cootie, Austin Hoopa, Carlos Hyde, AP, Jaguars, Ito Smith, TJ Hawkinson, JJ Argea Whiteside, Vikings D, Sanders, James Washington, Ekla, Duke Johnson, Hakeem Butler, and now we're just going to go running back and go with Mr. Justin Jackson, who could end up being the RB1 on, or someone who's going to be used heavily on the Chargers if Melvin Gordon is to either be traded or hold out for 8 games, because he would technically hold out for 8 games and then be able to be traded next year, because if he plays more than 8 games, he will be allowed to, it'll count as 1 year under his contract. So we'll go with Justin Jackson here. Oh my god, I did not mean to go Jerick McKinnon, so we're just going to go back and just change our player and just go Justin Jackson, because we said we were going Justin Jackson. So after we went Justin Jackson, Peyton Barber went, followed by Cleveland Browns defense, and now is where you pick your defense. You've waited all the way to the end. You weren't an idiot, and you didn't pick them in the 10th round. So what you're going to do is, the way you're going to pick a defense is you're going to go on Google, right? You're on Google right now. You have it open. You type in NFL schedule week 1, and then you figure out which defense is playing as a shitty offense week 1, and that's the defense you play. So the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Giants, so that's why we're going with the Cowboys. After we went the Cowboys, a bunch of kickers and defense was taken. I'm not going to tell you the kickers or the defenses. I'm not going to read them out because it's not very important. If you want to know that, then you can just read it yourself. So the real players being taken: John Brown, Devin Singletary, Trey Burton, Adam Vinatieri, Giorgio Trevecchio, Greg Olson, Naheem Hines. And then we got to go kicker. And then we just pick Jake Elliott. And then Kyle Rudolph went. So our finishing lineup here for this video, this Superflex draft, is going to be Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Our two running backs are McCaffrey and Carryon. Our wide receivers are Juju and Stephon Diggs. Our tight end is Jared Cook. Our flex is Chris Carson. Our super flex is Kyler Murray. Our kicker is Jake Elliott. Our defense is Dallas Cowboys defense. Our bench is comprised of Lamar Miller, Ronald Jones, Marvin Jones, the double Jones connection there, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Josh Allen, and Justin Jackson. Thank you guys all for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed, and I hope you click that subscribe button that's down below or on the screen now with Johnny Manziel. You click on that, then you click the subscribe button, because I want you guys to win your championship. That subscribe means that you're going to win the championship, because I'm going to help you win. And then while you're looking at the screen, click on one of the other videos that's on the screen. I hope you guys have a great goddamn day, and I hope your weekend is amazing. Goodbye, guys.